What's up, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Iron Maiden, and indeed, I'm very excited. This is a tune. I'm jumping ahead in time a little bit. I'm going to get to at least a few tunes on every one of the Bruce Dickinson albums. I've reacted to tunes on 7 of them so far. I am going to jump ahead in time. I really feel like I want to react to a tune from their most recent album because it's still, like, semi-recent. It came out not too long ago. So we're going to listen to a tune on Senjutsu. We're going to listen to a tune that I think in many ways was sort of like the big single when it was sort of previewed or like released before the album came out. That is The Writing on the Wall. I really enjoy this tune for a number of reasons. One, it's just another example of their amazing storytelling and songwriting. The lyrics are just so cleverly crafted. Bruce's voice still sounds fantastic. I know people will say he can't quite hit those same heights. He can't quite hold those long vibratos as much as he used to, but his voice is still more powerful than people decades younger than him, and still amazing. Still really hits just the right notes in the right spots. So that's another thing that stands out to me. Another thing that stands out to me on this one is the acoustic guitar at the beginning. I really enjoy that. It has a very Dusty Road kind of, ominous sort of town. You're on the edges of a town which looks like there might be some trouble going on. It really does have that sort of vibe. And then the lyrics are fantastic. It's, people will point out that it's a sort of biblical narrative. It goes back to the story of, the writing on the wall, and the king did not heed the writing on the wall, and all came to ruin. And so that has come to be an expression that if you don't heed the writing on the wall, you could be in serious trouble, and you will ultimately, that failure, that neglect, and that ignorance will ultimately prove to be your downfall. So there is part of that, and I think the lyrics speak to sort of the sordid rot, increasing festering corruption and neglect of so many people on the margins. So many people who are the have-nots, and the way in which the sort of elites in different places, in different times, have sort of exploited regular humans and sort of leached them of their life. And again, if you see the video for this, which I totally respect that a lot of people react to other YouTube videos. If you haven't seen this channel before, I react to physical media. I like to celebrate the artwork and the discs and so on. This is part of what I do. We're going to get to that in a second. But no, if you've seen the video, then you'll know by the end there's there's so many visual details in that video, including homages to different versions of Eddie, going way back to the earliest albums. But also by the end it becomes this sort of Promethean sort of metaphor, and ultimately it's sort of Eddie rescues them from this faux Eden, which has become so bloated and corrupted and rotten. And in the end, they sort of torch Eden on the way out the door as he gives them the apple of knowledge. And so I think, some of that imagery fits very well with the lyrics. It fits, fantastically. And so basically, to me, the song is just about the way in which, if the world, in all its different iterations, all its different cultures and societies, if we don't heed the writing on the wall, we will be in a place where true catastrophe, true cataclysm, loss of life on an unprecedented scale, and ultimately more and more people falling into that category of the have-nots and the exploited, and those who are not let into the place where they can actually get amelioration and a bounty for themselves. So that's where I think the lyrics are in this one. Let me know if you have a different take. I'm always open to different interpretations. I never claim to be authoritative. I just speak about the way that the lyrics hit my brain for any particular song. That's the way I've sort of taken this one in the last year or so since it came out. So again, let's look out. This is the deluxe edition, which I sort of splurged because I'd become such a big fan that I was like, oh, they're coming out with a new album now that I've already gone through their catalog. Amazing. So I really wanted to get the deluxe edition. You will see I do have Eddie up there just because I wanted to complete the run of albums up on the wall. Well, that does mean I did have to damage it on the inside. You don't have to agree with the decision I made, but I really did want to have it up on the wall, so that's what I had to do. But even with that first page being a bit damaged, look at all the artwork. There's traditional sort of Japanese artwork on several of the pages. We also have, let me get to it here. I really do like that one down there, but let's get to Eddie, because Eddie looks like a boss in his samurai outfit, Bushido, Way of the Warrior. looking like a boss. And again, there's just artwork on, like, you know, every page. It's just crazy artwork, and it's all in this sort of traditional, sort of what is sometimes called like medieval Japan, or sort of like pre-modern Japan. Nevertheless, these are the 2 discs. Again, they have these sort of samurai masks. Shout out to that. I just love the theme. All the song titles are written in Japanese on this page. Nevertheless, we're going to listen to, as I said, The Writing on the Wall from their album Senjutsu, which I think it's 2021, but now having said all of that, let me just make sure I have that right. This album came out in 2021, that's right. So here we go. This is The Writing on the Wall by Iron Maiden from their album Senjutsu 2021. Love how over the course of their albums, over 4 decades or so, they've walked down so many different alleyways of the metal sound, so many different iterations of their own style. I mean, this has sort of like a Western frontier ballad sort of feel. God, I love Bruce's voice. The guy's like 60 now, right? Love that second line in the chorus. It's so good. Hollywood to Birmingham, all these things are happening. Oh, what a tune. You have to turn around, man. Dude, the solos in this fucking song, I'm just remembering. Oh my god, you are in for such a treat if you don't know this. This is where Eddie arrives, right? Come on. Oh my god, singing out. But the one that comes in next is my favorite. Wait for it. Oh wait. Oh, This is great too. But I was thought there's one coming. I forgot. 3 guitars, right? Speaking through that guitar, man. Oh, it's even better than I remembered. Is that Smith at the end? Is that who's killing that last part? The whole like solo section is great, but that last solo ride out is fucking unbelievable. I know people will point out like the Riders on the Storm, the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse, like if we're not careful, they're coming. Again, there's like a couple different biblical narratives being invoked here, but there's also like a mixture of that with like modern interpretations of the state of affairs. Again, their songwriting is unbelievable. Their solos are unbelievable. Their song composition is unbelievable. Amazing. Again, it's, you know, I say this often when I listen to Iron Maiden songs, but especially as I've started to do some of these reactions, I think this is now like my 10th one. Really enjoying it, really appreciate the people who've been watching and listening to these. But as I've started to do them, you know, there's tunes that I've now, in the last few years, listened to dozens of times, like many times. This one maybe not quite as much as, say, Hallowed Be Thy Name or The Rime of the Ancient Mariner, or I think it's just Rime of the Ancient Mariner. But I have listened to it several times, but even so, like in the moment, these tunes are hitting me even more powerfully, especially because I'm sort of like trying to think about it a little more in the moment, like each measure to measure and so on. And it's such a like rich, rewarding experience when the musicians are this talented and the songwriting is this well composed. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you're a fan of this album. Let me know if this tune is like a really good one for you, or whether there's something else on the album that you think is the real kind of marquee or like powerhouse track. Love to hear more opinions. Love to hear more requests for Iron Maiden. Like I said, in the last few years I've become a big fan, and I'm just excited to talk about their music because I think it's so fucking fantastic. So hopefully you do too. Let me know what you think of the video. Let me know what you think of the song, the album, or again, any Bruce Dickinson fronted album from Iron Maiden, studio album. I don't have the live albums, but I have all the studio albums that he's been a part of. So seriously, any tune on any one of those albums that you'd like to hear reacted to, give it a shout. Even if you just want to talk about a tune or an album, give me a shout. Let me know what you think. Other than that, I appreciate you listening and watching. Have a good day, have a good night, and I'll see you next time. Peace.